Donyell Malen, known as the box crasher. The box crasher that is going to set the Premier League alight next season under Unai Eemery. On this episode, we're going to go in depth on Donyell Malen. We're going to take a look at his history as a player. We're going to take a look at his main attributes and his main areas that he takes up on the football pitch. We're going to take a look at how he's going to fit into Unai Eemery's system next season. And we're also going to go and have a look at some of the data and the stats behind Donyell Malen as well. So grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a beer, grab anything and just enjoy the show about Donyell Malen. Donyell Malen. He's a player that I think managers struggle to understand. I think they struggle to understand his best position. And we see this across Dortmund. We've seen it early on at Aston Villa. And we see it with the Netherlands. Limited minutes, but big moments, big goals. He scores goals, he contributes. And I think this is all in a way of which not knowing what his right position is. Is he a winger? Is he a right-sided player? Is he a number 10? Is he in behind a striker? Is he a player that plays on the left? And I think he's none of those. And the position that I've gave him is box crasher. And he crashes that box from an inside, inverted position on that right-hand side. For me, that is his position. And we're going to go into a bit of detail later of how he gets into that position, because it's not a position that you can just go out there and play. There's a lot of different factors that have to come in to getting Donyell Malen in the right position to be able to gate crash the box and just crash it and score. And you'll see that from a lot of the goals that he's seen. So when we're taking a look at Donyell Malen's overriding numbers, his best season was 2021 at PSV, where he played 43 games. He scored 25 goals and he got 8 assists. That's his standout season. That's where he's produced pretty much his best numbers. He's had good seasons in 1920 at PSV, and then he had a really good season at Dortmund in 23-24, where he got 15 goals, 3 assists, and he played 38 games. Then the season after is the season when Aston Villa signed him, and his minutes were really limited for Dortmund. At Aston Villa, exactly the same. So he played 38 games. He only had 1,382 minutes, scoring 8 goals with 1 assist. And he had a SOFA score rating of 6.76. And we can see that early on in his career, when he was at PSV, at the Eredivisie, he was playing predominantly on that left-hand side. 21-20 season, he had a SOFA score rating of 7.28. And you can see his heat map heavy on that left-hand side. As he's evolved as a player, so a few years later, 23-24, where he had that real good season at Dortmund, he had a 7.24 rating, predominantly playing on the right-hand side, but also playing on that left-hand side as well. And for Aston Villa, predominantly on the right-hand side, drifting over to the left, but that's just picking up opportunistic moments when needed, but predominantly being on that right-hand side. Now, some of his underlying numbers through his time as a player, we go to that bright moment in 2021, where we can see he scored 25 goals, shots on target 76, and total shots 152. Now, the big thing about Donyell Malen is the volume of goals from the volume of shots on target, which is very, very good. I think this is one of his better attributes, the amount of shots on target that go in the back of the net. So 76 for PSV, 25 in the back of the net. We go to his bright season at Dortmund, which is 23-24. Total shots on target, 49, 15 goals. And last season, he had 21 shots on target with 8 goals. So the ratio from shot on target to goal conversion rate is really good, really high. His passing accuracy is also very good for an attacking player as well. So we can see last season 76.4, 79.1, 80.5, 77.2, 80.2. So he's a player that looks after the ball. As an attacking player, you will see those percentages get lower and lower. You don't want an attacking player to have 99% passing accuracy. That would tell me that he's far too safe. So in and around the 80, 79 mark, I think he's pretty good for an attacking player. Those are the numbers that you want. And also his XG is pretty good as well. Always outscoring his XG. Last season an XG of 6.71 and goals 8. Season before that, he had 11.63 XG, 15 goals, and the season before that, 10.03, and he had 10 goals. So always looking to outperform that XG, which is, again, a really good thing that you're doing. If you're underperforming, then that's not great. So let's overperform, and then that's a lot better. So Donyell Malen, like I say, has really struggled to hone in and pinpoint a position where he's a first team starter. He's had a real bright game for the Netherlands, and I think this game really does start to highlight the areas that Donyell Malen can flourish in, and it shows you perfectly the positions that when he gets in on the football pitch, attack those areas. And it shows you his intelligence on the pitch as well. He's got a real intelligence of holding his run, timing his runs to perfection, but also knowing when to go, when to attack, when is the moment to attack. And during this now, you're going to start to see real bright moments from Donyell Malen. So his standout game for the Netherlands was against Malta, where he had a 18-minute cameo, and this is pretty recent. This is in the last international break. So yes, it's against Malta, but international level, very good. And to be fair, in an 18-minute cameo, to score 2 goals and get 1 assist is pretty good. So he'd got 86% passing accuracy, 1 key pass, 12 touches, 1 out of 1 successful dribbles, 2 shots on target and 2 goals. We can see that this was his heat map from that game. So again, predominantly on that right-hand side, but box crashing the 18-yard box. Here we can see the areas where he got his 2 goals from, very central. So when we go to the tactical board later on, these are the positions that we want him in. So attacking these areas. So yes, we can say go on the right-hand side, but the distance to get from that right-hand side winger role to this position, we've got to travel. So for me, Donyell Malen, how do we get him into these positions without him having to travel so much? So here we can see Donyell Malen's first goal. Donyell Malen is on the far right-hand side. There's a nice little cute pass into a central area. The ball then goes out wide. We're able to drive with this ball now. But note Donyell Malen's starting position. Starting position outside the edge of the box. Comes in, times his run, arches his run, and then boom, finish. Class. Now, Donyell Malen's striking ability. When I played football, the phrase that got taught into me and ingrained into me, hit it low and hard. Low and hard. Keeper won't get there. Keeper won't save it. Bottom corners, keeper's got no chance. Donyell Malen's striking is so clean and accurate with precision that you have to play him. You cannot overlook him because his striking ability is so good. He's no good sat on a bench. He's too good to be on. He's too good. So as we can see from the little graphic now, starting position, times his run, arches it, and then that's where he's able to go in there and finish. But again, we can see from this graphic, look at his starting position. He's not up against a defender. is away from the defender. He's giving the defender space because he knows that he can lose that runner of that defender. And the run is just brilliant. And then when he strikes the ball, look at that, he's got nobody around him either. So a brilliant goal from Donyell Malen. But again here now, we've got an assist from Donyell Malen. So Malen taking up a central position. He plays it to the central midfielder, and then he's on his bike. He's gone. He's driving. He's running forward. He's attacking. He's really box crashing, attacking the box and getting into those areas. And then here now we've got that 1v1, but he doesn't rush it. He's patient. He bides his time. He makes sure he's aware of the runners that are around him, puts the ball across the 18-yard box, and then he gets the assist. So again here now from that graphic, what we can see is the little pass, the give, the go, the run, and he's able to get into that area as well. But I would also mention that something that we're going to talk about in a second is that take a look at where he's positioned himself, inverted, inside, and what's on the outside, the right back. Now, is this why Unai Eemery hasn't been playing Donyell Malen for Aston Villa yet? Because we don't have the right back to be able to allow Donyell Malen to be able to flourish. I think there's something in this that about getting the right back right unlocks Donyell Malen. So there we go. So that's the assist. Now, here we have a goal that is all made up from Donyell Malen. Again, on the right-hand side. No, he's far wide on the right. Picks up the ball in more of an inverted area. And he's 1v1 with the defender. And he drives and he puts him on his arse. He slips, he goes, he moves, and then he puts that finish in the back of the net. And that's all about Donyell Malen. Now, again, Donyell Malen on the right-hand side, note that now he's being doubled up on. And where we're talking about the right back being important, now we can see right back coming into picture, offering the overlap. Now, when the right back offers the overlap, that always means that the defender, the one that's been doubled up on now, that's coming to help out, has to track the runner of the right back, which then opens up more space for Donyell Malen to put the cross in. It's not an assist, but it's kind of a pre-assist because the goal comes after he's put this ball in the back of the net. But again, note the importance of 1v1. When that right back comes on and starts overlapping, that's how it opens up the space. So it shows you how an overlapping right back can operate and make more space, and then teamwork together. So really, really good. So there I feel like that was a brilliant cameo from Donyell Malen, and it highlights the areas and certain aspects of his game and what needs to happen to have Donyell Malen flourishing. Now, again, here we've got a goal from Morgan Rogers against Nottingham Forest. Note Donyell Malen's position. Quite central, edge of the box, nobody around him, but getting into those central spaces is something that I think is going to be very important for Villa next season. Again, Donyell Malen on the right-hand side, this is the goal that he scored against Nottingham Forest, but again, notice that he's peeled away from the defender. Clever work from Malen, always doing this, always finding the space, timing his run to perfection, gets in front of the Nottingham Forest defender, and then is able to bury his chance and put it into the box. Now, this is clever from Malen because Malen senses the danger. He knows when to get into those attacking areas. He's very clever. He's an intelligent player, and he's really, really good. And he's being slept on. He's being slept on by pretty much everybody, and he needs to start playing. Again now, he's not lazy, and I love this from Donyell Malen. So as soon as John McGinn picks up this ball, we've got Donyell Malen on his bike driving forward. He knows the area that he's got to get into, but he also knows the area that he's got to get into at the right time. You can't rush it. And we see this from him. So McGinn keeps driving forward. Donyell Malen now is noticing that he's on the back of a Brighton player and he wants to stay there. He keeps driving forward. McGinn passes to Asensio, but again, Malen opens that body because he knows where he wants the ball, but he knows it's a timing element to him. So by opening that body, he knows that he's not going to go offside. If he's running and he's edging, he knows he might be tight. And so him opening that body really does allow him to bide his time. And then he gets his touch, takes his touch, that precision strike, bottom corner. Great goal from him. Really, really good goal. And I think this really does highlight a lot of what Malen is all about. He's a finisher. He has got drive, determination. He has got a powerful nature about him. He does remind me a little bit like Umbremo. I think he's got that Umbremo mould where they're both very, very similar. He's a little bit stocky, he's powerful, and we can see here that when he gets into the areas that he needs to be, there's not a lack of quality. So it's about finding the position that he needs to play in this Villa team. And I think in the Europa League, I think he's going to excel. I think he's going to be one of our best players in the Europa League. And I'm really excited. I'm really excited by him. And I think he'll feel like a new signing going into the new season because we're going to start to see more and more. So let's take a look at what's got to happen at Aston Villa for Donyell Malen to play week in, week out. Aston Villa are going to have a new system. I think the new system has got to be there for us to evolve and to get the best out of Donyell Malen. I'll show you both ways. I'll show you my way that I feel like we get the best out of him first. And then I'll kind of show you a little bit of like how it could work if we do keep the same system. So I think next season, and I've spoke about this a lot, it's going to be really important for Ian Maatsen. Ian Maatsen operating in this area here. Not so much across here as a winger / wing back. More central into these areas through here. So how that works is we have a left winger. Left winger, high and wide. So the width does not have to come from Ian Maatsen at all. So Maatsen operates and can go into that area there when needed. When he needs to underlap the winger, he can do that. But also he can go into that central midfield area. So we stick with a 2 at the back. We then have Youri Tielemans that can go into an attack and make up that area through there as well. Maatsen operates centrally with Boubacar Kamara. So where does Malen fit in? For me, Malen is not an out-and-out wide right player. He can play there, but that's not his best position. We do not want him really on that wing, hugging it and getting crosses, etc. We need Donyell Malen there, edge of the box, gate crashing, going into those areas through there. How does he get there? And he gets there with inverting with an attacking right back. The right back is so important for Aston Villa. Now, Aston Villa's cover then comes from a box. The box of Pau, Konsa, Kamara and Maatsen. That's Villa's safe space, safe haven, protection, and then allows us to get a front 6. Now, we've been working with a front 5. Now it's getting the front 6. Left winger, Youri Tielemans, Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, Donyell Malen, right back. That attacking 6 is so much more expansive. We've got width on both sides. We've got a striker, a 10, we've got a powerhouse, we've got a midfielder. You know, we're not saying they've all got to be there, they can all move around through there, etc. But that, for me, is how you get the best out of Donyell Malen. The right back is crucial to unlocking him. Yes, there might be times when Marlen's out there and the right back can go through there. We see that with PSG. And his starting position could possibly always be, in and around there. He could start the game there. But it's about the position and the movements. The also important thing I think to note as well is that it's no coincidence that Tuchel and Emery play Rodgers on the right. No Villa fan really likes him there. But to have that switch up, for them to be able to move and link around, like we had with Diaby and Bailey, I think is really important. Now, if we weren't going to play with a wide left player, and we were going to play with a left-sided player that plays more central, like we currently do, then the system can still be similar with the right back. So 2 strikers, your left-sided player, Donyell Malen, right back can still go forward, Malen can then invert, and then you're really left with your left back having to do a lot of the work as well, so he's having to get foot forward as well. So I prefer my option. I think my option is more expansive for us, and I think we're able to just evolve slightly, and I think this really gets the best out of Donyell Malen. So for me, this is how it's going to work. This is how you allow Malen to be the player that we really need him to be, and it just shows little tactical, technical tweaks as well. One thing that I do think, and I'll just touch on this because I've got the board out, is that the goalkeeper next season for Villa is going to be really important. This goalkeeper is going to act as a centre-back. They're going to be edge-of-the-box stuff, touching the ball, taking touches, and I think in a couple of years, I really do believe that the goalkeeper position is going to evolve, so much so that in possession, they're technically classed as an outfield player. I think that is how much that this position is going to evolve. So there's a little bit more of a tactical look of how I think we can implement Malen into an Aston Villa system. So there we have it. Quite an in-depth look at Donyell Malen. A player that I'm really excited by. A player that I just think is really good. And he's going to be really at that top end for Villa next season. I think we're gonna see a birth of Malen in the Premier League, and I think he's gonna tear it up. I think he'll do well in the Conference League as well. So hopefully you've all enjoyed this episode on the Villains. I'm gonna try and get more content out on here. That's my aim. But obviously pre-season it's quite, and off season it's quite difficult. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. I think we'll have all got something from this. If you are new, make sure you are subscribing. Smash the likes. If you've got this far, it really helps me out, as this channel is pretty new and early in its development. So the more help that it can get from you guys, the better really. So thanks for watching. Up the Villains.